first. I think 9 times out of 9. Kevin Hastings, Lynn cannot be your guy for Michael Brantley. Come on. You're killing me. The starting pitcher reservoir is thin. I think we've got to get those starting pitchers early, but not too early. Not a first-round pick, my friends. But second, third, fourth round, that's where I see those 10 pitchers falling. So now, Arnie, if those are your top 10, and they are, who comes after that? Well, now it's the walking and the wounded. It's those pitchers who, at least a few of these, who have had some injury problems. But they have that historical value, right? George says I wouldn't take any of Clevenger, Bieber, or Flaherty in the second round. Maybe not. Somebody will. Second or third round, I'm saying by pick 36, those 10 pitchers are gone. And then there's Bauer, who's in my next group. I've got 5 here I want to add, and these are pitchers who either have come off poor seasons, come off some injuries. Here they go. Chris Sale, Blake Snell, Clayton Kershaw, Bauer, and Patrick Corbin. I think those are my next tier of 5 that I've ranked. Sale, Snell, Corbin, Bauer, and Kershaw. Now, why didn't I say Charlie Morton? I could have. He's right there. Let's put him in that group if you want. I want to contrast, if you will, Morton with these others. Clayton Kershaw has name appeal. He's not what he used to be. But with that team, he's going to put up pretty good numbers. And I think the Dodgers are going to use him judiciously. Chris Sale. Lenny mentioned this earlier today. Certainly the worst year of his career in 2019. Coming off of a World Series championship where he was overused, no doubt. He didn't have a spring training last year, and Chappie and I talked about this. We touched on it some Tuesday night. Please, guys, pitchers need the spring training. There is a reason why pitchers and catchers report earlier than everyone else. And when a pitcher misses an entire spring training, which Sale did last year, it's going to have negative repercussions. But I put him, as well as Blake Snell, hurt some beginning of the year, never really was what we thought of Blake Snell being, coming off a Cy Young year. Sale, Snell, Kershaw, Morton, Corbin, Bauer. Bauer goes over to Cincinnati. Off year, changing teams, changing leagues. Now he's had a year to settle in. I've predicted, I'll say it again, I think the Reds win the Central, and I think Trevor Bauer is a huge reason why that happens, as he is an ace of the staff. Morton, the ace of the Rays. So now we've talked about the Sweet 16, right? We've talked about the Sweet 16 pitchers. I love the chat room discussion, you guys, talking about who goes before who. Bauer before Morton, Morton before Bauer, Kershaw. That's what this is about, to start a discussion, to start those brain waves rattling, to get prepared in your draft for where you schedule to pick these pitchers. These top 16, I'm going to tell you our top 5 round pitchers. The Sweet 16 I've named should go in the top 50. So once we get beyond these names, this is like questions I asked Chappie. Who comes next? Okay, Arnie, you've taken the top 16 arguably best pitchers. You've taken them in the top 5 rounds. I've picked 5 hitters in the first 5 rounds. I'm loaded at hitting. I've got no pitching. And now you got to help me, Arnie. Who do I draft now? So let's look at some others. Zack Greinke in Houston. And I know we can talk about the Astros and we can talk about the bad things that have just come out in the press. I've said I'm not going to do that this morning. I've already done it. Go back and listen to my Tuesday morning show on demand. You can hear what I've got to say about that. It's good stuff. It really is. I even talk about Pete Rose. I even talk about Bill Belichick. But you got to go back and listen to on demand. Zack Greinke knows how to pitch. He's not going to blow you away with a fastball. In fact, I looked at stats last year. I talked about during the season how the league fares very well against the Zack Greinke heater or lack of heater. But the off-speed breaking ball pitches playing in Houston where they're going to still win at least 90 games. And he's fast becoming the ace of the staff. He's a number 2 now by default. Houston's going to lean on him. He's now accustomed to playing there. Another coming after the 5th round. What about Lucas Giolito? And he's a Renaissance man, right? I mean, if there ever was a Renaissance man, it's got to be Lucas Giolito. What a year he had last year on a team that finished some 20 games below 500. And I think the White Sox are going to contend, if not win, in 2020. And Giolito, to go along with those young hitters, he strikes out a ton, doesn't walk a lot, goes deep into games. He could be a real value pick. Kevin Hastings is a Renaissance man. He's coming up next, by the way. Good morning, aloha. Can't wait to hear your show this morning. You're probably right now, Kevin Hastings, typing away, reading away, and listening to me and laughing. That's what life's about, right? Grandal, yeah, you're on with me, Kevin. Grandal catching's going to help. I think as good as Giolito was last year, he may even could tap into my Sweet 16 this year. And he could replace someone like Clayton Kershaw. I really like Giolito. So he's my second one outside. I'm around at my top 20 here. I got 2 to go, right? In my top. Doesn't mean it's yours. We can disagree. I got to talk Yankee. I got to talk Luis Severino. Yeah, baby, you got to talk Severino. Back from injury. He looked pretty good in the playoffs. He's now going to be the number 2 guy in New York, not number 1. The pressure is now off a little. He's healthy as far as we know. A very young kid with a 95-plus fastball in Yankee Stadium. He's going to get you wins. He's going to get you innings. He's going to get you strikeouts. He's going to have a pretty good ERA. I really like Severino. Yeah, I know I'm a Yankee homer. But you like Severino too after you see him pitch the start of this year and as he gets into the season. So there's 19. So who's number 20? Well, I like to go out on a limb You know that. I like to pick a guy who has some good upside and not a lot of health issues. Well, that knocks out Corey Kluber, right? That knocks out a lot of players, really. But how about Mike Soroka? I sung my song last year, Mike Soroka, and I am a Soroka believer. That's why I'm ranking him much higher than Fantasy Pros having him at 91. He's in my top 20 starting pitchers. And let me tell you why. Who makes the honorable mention list? Well, real quickly, Noah Syndergaard. These are my next 5. I'm coming back to Soroka. 21 through 25. Syndergaard. Darvish. Glasnow. Kluber. And Jose Berrios. 4 of the 5 I just named have had some kind of injury bug. Now, Soroka, I know, missed some of 2018 as a young pitcher, but last year pitched a complete season after being called up, and he is now the ace, yes, the ace of the Atlanta Braves staff. And Lenny mentioned other pitchers on the staff this morning. Really good honorable mentions for number 2 on the Atlanta Braves staff. But I love Soroka. I love his demeanor. And frankly, I like him pitching in that division. And I'm sure there are others. I'm looking in the chat room. This is what I love about you guys. Okay? Paddock, sure. Lamet, sure. Robbie Ray, sure. But I'm talking about who I think are my top 25. We can disagree on who the greatest player of baseball history ever was. We can disagree on the top 25 starting pitchers as well. But those are my top 25. Now, let's reach, shall we? We like to do that. I'm going to close here in a few minutes. Kevin Hastings is up. Remember, again, tonight at 7, it's Chappie's Chat. I don't know where you might be, but it doesn't matter where you might be tonight at 7. Find your podcast, turn it on, listen to the Chapman. Yeah, Chapman. Talk about prospects. He already talked about one, Josh Young, who plays for the Texas Rangers organization, down east Wood Ducks, Kinston, North Carolina, 20 minutes away from where I live, and I get to see him play this year. And Chappie and I have already talked about a road trip, and you guys might want to join in the fun. Oh, yeah. Mal Powell loves Lamet. Sandy Alcantara. Odorizzi. I love it, chat room. Keep it coming. You've heard my 25. We've got over 10 people again in the chat room today. It's been an awesome week. Let's go down to the bottom of the barrel. Let's take a look at a pitcher who I know is injury prone, but I know if he's healthy, I like him. Lance McCullers Jr., baby. That's a pitcher with a lot of upside potential. Lance McCullers Jr., great fastball, slider, curve, coming off injury, did not pitch last year, may not even be drafted, but if he's available in a late round, I'm going to take a chance on Lance. Another pitcher that's ranked, here you go, he's ranked 193. 190, and I'm only talking pitchers today, okay? What about Masahiro Tanaka of the New York Yankees? He's ranked 193. Tanaka, an innings eater, Yeah, I know he can get